What happens when we die? Is there an afterlife? Do we go to heaven? Or even worse, hell? Can we communicate with the dead? And if we can, should we? Let's find out.
Oh man. Well, today's episode brought to you by beer. man's best friend. But yeah, you know what, guys? Today's Friday, and we're just taking it easy. We're gonna have a little fun with this episode.
Yeah.
This episode's gonna be what are we gonna call this episode? The end of the world.
the end of the world episode. Yes.
The end of the world again. For the 100th time.
For the 100th time.
Yeah.
Back in the past and now here in the present.
Yeah. But anyways, Carlitos, how's your week been so far?
So far it's been so good. Actually, I had a really delicious pizza. I went to Long Beach. I've been here before. It's called the Fourth Horseman. And it's on 4th Street and Pine Avenue. And right now they're only doing either you order online or you take out. And they have deliveries around that Long Beach area, different little zones. But this place is awesome. You go in there, they have old arcade machines, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter comes to mind. That's one in a small little area of the building. And once you get inside, they have all these tables everywhere with a lot of cool 80s slasher films, 80s nostalgia, a bunch of horror stuff there too, which is like Garbage Pail Kids, monsters, all kinds of cool little pizza things going on. So once this place gets back up and running into full capacity, I'll take you there one day. You'll like it.
So what is this place like one of those vegetarian pizza places or?
No. Well, they do have that. That's one of the reasons why I went there.
Yeah, because I saw that picture you posted. It was like a vegetarian pizza, right?
There were two. Yeah, the one that I posted was a vegetarian pizza, and that one's a really delicious pizza from the Fourth Horseman. But they also have other pizzas that I ordered. I ordered one for my family, and this one's called Death to Piggy, and it has sausage in there and a few other cheesy flavors, and it's really good. So maybe one day when we have time and this is over with, we can go over there and enjoy it. Because it's a restaurant, you sit down, but they also have really good beer on tap. The pizza's delicious, and everything they have for the pizzas is locally sourced from, I believe they said last time was Signal Hill, but around the Long Beach area. They grab all their ingredients and they make them there in-house.
Nice. You know who would actually like this place because of the vegetarian stuff? Layla Bathory from Paranormal East LA.
Oh, cool!
Shout out to Layla. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen that on her Facebook. She's always posting like healthy alternatives to like pizza and anything, and she comes up with some really good ideas, dude. The other day,
awesome.
The other day she put something that was it's like shrimp. It looks like shrimp ceviche, and in the picture it looks just like shrimp ceviche.
Oh wow!
Even the texture, but it was cauliflower.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Yeah. I like that. A lot of good things you can make out of cauliflower, but good for her. That's awesome.
And you know what? I actually commented on her thing that she should start a YouTube channel with these healthy alternatives. I think it'd be pretty cool. But anyway, shout out to Paranormal East LA.
Awesome. And to the Fourth Horseman in Long Beach.
The Fourth Horseman. You know what? I'm actually thinking of maybe going on a diet, dude. Like eating stuff that doesn't have gluten and all that stuff, because I've been noticing lately that, especially now that we're going through the whole the pandemic, that I've been eating a lot of fast food, pizza, hamburgers, anything. And I've been noticing that my skin is getting horrible. Like, I don't know if you could see it on, the viewers at home could see this, but my face is just, I'm getting all these breaking out and just really weird. So I'm thinking that maybe I'm allergic to something I'm eating and I don't know what it is. But, hey, hopefully it's not this. Hopefully it's not this.
No. It's never going to be this. This is the solution to the problems. Actually, I've been doing the opposite, Tony. I have been eating a lot less junk food. I haven't been going out to that many places out there. I've been eating mostly inside. But I mean, just since I am plant-based, it's kind of easy. I've been doing it for several months now. So I just make my own food, and or someone else will make it for me that knows how to do that kind of food, which is nice. Once in a while I go out there, but like I think the last time was Del Taco, and I got that big family pack for my family, looking at that stuff. But that was like almost like a month ago, probably even more than that.
Yeah.
That was the last time I went out and got food.
And you know what I've noticed when I eat certain fast foods like Taco Bell, man, I feel crappy afterwards. So, I mean, no, you know, for people that like Taco Bell, I'm sorry, but anyways, you know what? Today's episode, we're gonna be talking about, you know, end of the world. You know, things that have happened before that, where people have mentioned that they think it's the end of the world. Just like now, you know, with this whole coronavirus, there's people that actually think this is, you know, this is like one of the signs, you know, of the what's you know, the end coming. But
right.
What do you think, Carlos? You think that this is it?
A lot of people see these as a signs that it's coming to an end, or maybe a change, but mostly it's coming to an end because of all the problems that are happening with this COVID-19. And it's people can relate to this because maybe a lot of people are religious, and they see this happening now, what's happening in the Bible, especially with the plagues of Egypt. How Moses wanted to be have his people let go from the Pharaoh, right? Let my people free. But the Pharaoh didn't want to let them go, so God unleashed all these different plagues, right? So it could be one of those things where, you know, maybe this happened because it's all about God. Maybe something's happening there.
You never. I mean, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, or it could be maybe the planet is, you know, is trying to get rid of certain problems. And what does your body do when it wants to get rid of something? It goes through like a little area where you get hot. And
you get these fevers and all this stuff. And you know what? I was thinking about that because hold on, I'm getting a. Oh, it's your cousins.
Got the primos.
Yeah, sorry Beto, sorry Chris, and
sorry
everybody else. But you know what? The reason I wanted to talk about this subject was because I was actually watching a movie with my daughters yesterday and the day before yesterday. We were watching The Inconvenient Truth. You know that Al Gore film about the global warming?
Right. I still haven't seen it, but
oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. You know, I remember when it came out, people were kind of like, "Oh, this is a joke. This ain't real." But when you watch the film, you know, the first one, The Inconvenient Truth,
right? And
he's talking about what's going to happen in the next 15 years, 10, 15 years. And, you know, that film came out, I think, about 10 or 15 years ago, and it's happening. Like what he said was going to happen is actually happening. You know, with the floods everywhere, and you know the ice melting, and it's crazy. It's
oh yeah.
So I mean, like you said, I think this is not so much of God punishing us and stuff. I think it's more like you said. You know, we're messing up the planet, and this is the way of the planet. What the planet does to kind of fix things. You know, kind of like, okay, you know, let me wipe a little bit of these people out of the surf. You know.
Yeah.
But
right. I've had that feeling too. I haven't seen the one about the unconventional truth, whatever.
Yeah, the inconvenient truth.
Inconvenient truth. Yeah, sorry. I haven't seen that one, but yes, I have that same feeling where, well, maybe the Earth just wants to shake off, you know, the virus, the fleas. Or whatever
it's kind of like happening. You know what? It's kind of like the Earth is sick right now, and it's trying to fix itself. You know, and we're the virus. So
I've had that feeling too. It's a good little theory, a good little way of thinking. It's
I mean, it makes sense. It's the whole thing of you know, every action has a reaction. You know, everything we do has a consequence. So, you know, you know, with all the pollution, the plastic bottles, all that stuff. You know, it has a price. You know, we take it like it's, you know, nothing, but you know, we had to pay for it somehow. So, I mean, that's what I think.
Well, yeah.
But
that's a good way of thinking about things that are happening.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, as many viewers know, if you've watched previous episodes, you know, I was raised in a very religious home, so there was always that talk about, like, you know, the end of the world eventually is gonna come, and you're gonna see signs of floods and earthquakes and stuff like that. But you know, it's something that I started thinking about. It's like, because you know, back when I used to go to church and stuff, I would think, you know, how can, you know, why would God punish us, or you know, if he loves us and all this stuff. But it's not God punishing us. I think it's, you know, it's us doing it to ourselves. So that's what I think.
Yeah. Right.
But anyway, Carlitos, go ahead. I'll let you talk now. I think the beer's getting to me.
Slow down.
It's barely my first one.
Just take like 3 sips out of it. Yeah, it's like you said, like the big floods that happen in the Bible too are actually happening now with this whole climate change. Now you see these floods in Texas are going crazy. You see all this hail coming down on the Bible, then you see the hail coming down in the Midwest and the East Coast, and then on the other side, on the West Coast, you get nothing but heat, and you have fires. You have the fires of California here. What was the last fire we had? Was up there in was it Ventura, or I forget, past that area, right up there?
Yeah, somewhere.
The Hollywood Hills, whatever it was. Not Hollywood Hills, but over there. I'm sorry. But I also want to say that not only California, but Australia has also had a lot of wildfires too, just not too long ago, last year, right?
Yeah.
And things are changing quickly.
Yeah. And I think it's because the thing is, we're doing... I think the more time goes by, the quicker we do the damage. You know, with the whole, like... I was watching another documentary, I think it was on Netflix, of you know how the water bottle industry is so big. It's a big business, and how they go like to these like rivers and stuff and just suck all the pump all the water out of them, and then there's no water left, and it's, you know, it has to have a consequence.
And consequence. There is a consequence to that. And that's one of the things that I want to talk about later on the show, about certain things that affect the Earth. And not only do we have viruses, wars, they might end problems with maybe something from space, asteroid, or something that might come down, or aliens. But another thing too is there might be famine and a shortage of water later on in the future. You never know.
Yeah, it always has to come down to aliens with you.
I had to throw that one in there, but we're going to talk about it though. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah. And I mean, this is nothing new. You know, we've had I think my grandmother, she used to talk about the end of the world, and she would, you know, I think tell my mom about how her mother used to tell her that event, you know, that it was the end of the world. So this is nothing new. This has happened plenty of times before, where people think the world's coming to an end. And you know what? I don't think the world's ever going to come to an end. I think we might come to an end, you know, the human race, but the Earth is always going to be here.
Right. I think the Earth was scheduled to be working until probably when the sun goes out.
Yeah, and who knows when that's going to happen.
I think it was like 5 billion years we have left for the sun.
You know what? I think we're gonna wipe ourselves out before that even happens.
Yeah, if we don't
change. If we don't change.
Yep.
But anyways, you know what? One of the things I remember from you know, one of these end of the world scenarios was the 2012 thing. Remember the Aztec calendar? And how they were saying that when the calendar came to a certain date, and they thought that when that day came, that was going to be it, the end of the world. They even made a movie of it, which was really good, with John Cusack and Amanda Peet.
Yeah, I just saw it today too. I took some time this morning and I watched it in the garage with the projector and everything. I thought it was cool. I thought some parts were kind of dumb, but I thought the whole idea was cool, especially how they saved themselves in the end.
Yeah, and I mean, I think John Cusack's a great actor, so that's the only reason I really like it. I know there's some really really unbelievable parts. That part where the limousine he's driving the limousine and he breaks through the building and then comes out the other side, and, and then the bridge is falling down and his car barely makes it.
And the same thing with the camper and the planes and all that. So,
you know what? Now that you mention it, that movie's kind of like the same scene, just in different scenarios.
Yeah. Copy, paste, and then just change it a little bit. Copy, paste, and then change it a little bit.
Still a great movie though.
No, it's
entertaining. It's entertaining.
It's very entertaining. Yeah, it's not going to get an Oscar anytime soon, or it doesn't have the greatest dialogue ever. But just to watch something, just to get out of the zone for a little bit, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
But you know what? I do remember when that happened, and people were freaking out. You know that that they actually believe that was it. But then what happened at the end? It was when the end didn't happen, people were started saying, well, what that meant that it was going to be like a rebirth of the earth or something like that. I don't know.
What happened at the end was everything was changing. The plate tectonics and earth were going up. The crust and the land was going up, and certain parts and other parts were going down. For example, at this point, when they're at the end and they need to go into those giant arcs, these big giant metal boats like
Noah's Ark,
to save themselves. Yeah, because the world was flooding, right? And they have to get into that. They have to go to the part of the Nepal, the Himalayan mountains out there. And so eventually, they had a struggle, but they finally get into these arcs and they save themselves. And they're on the ocean for about a month or so after the year 0001.
Yeah.
And what happened is that they found new land, but now the new land is part of Africa, where the highest peak is at the southern part of Africa. Mm-hmm. So that overtook the Himalayas. So everything just shifted.
Yeah. But when this happened, it's almost kind of what happened in 1999, right? When they thought the everything was all the banks were gonna shut down and all the stuff because of the 000 or something. I never understood.
000.
I never understood how that would bring the end of the world.
So the year 2000, or otherwise known as Y2K, it's called Y2K. And everyone was afraid because as soon as the clocks and the programming of computers and whatever it was going to roll over to 0000 or 2000, because a lot of the computers that were the programming that was written back then is only designed for going up to maybe 2 digits, mm-hmm. right? Instead of being 2000 or more, it just went up to 99 and it's going to go back to and default to 00. And they think that, you're going to lose their money. The power is going to go up because it's run by computers. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. So people just started going to the stores and the gun stores, and they started buying a bunch of guns. They started buying a bunch of ammo, a bunch of water. But for some reason, there was no toilet paper fiasco back then.
I know. You know what? That's the one thing about this coronavirus thing. Yeah, that it's like, why the toilet paper? I don't get it. I don't get the toilet. It's toilet paper. Well, like the cleaners I understand, like Clorox and the wipes because of the virus, but toilet paper.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Anyways, but you know what the 1999 thing? I remember that people were even saying that when this happened, like the planes were gonna fall out of the sky. Why?
Yeah, because they were run by computers and they're running the same software.
But I mean, they have a pilot, right? I mean, it's not like it's a robot flying the plane.
Yeah, but a lot of that stuff, I don't know if in airplanes it's like that, but some of that stuff is run by computers, especially like on the modern cars. The accelerator is no longer a cable; it's all run by wire. I guess it is. It's drive by wire or whatever it's called. And they were afraid that it was going to come down and crash.
So how do you explain the movie with Tom Hanks then, where he lands the plane in the water?
I don't know.
Slowly.
They're fun movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, got a little plane right there, like a little plane.
Oh yeah, old school plane. But I mean, what do you remember? Yeah. Did your mom or your grandma ever tell you any stories about like where they thought the world was gonna end, or did you hear about it in church? Did you ever go to church?
I did, but most of the time I was doing this, so I was like looking around. I was looking at the statues, and the statues were looking back at me. I was like,
"Hey, you know what I used to do when in church, when I would get kind of bored. In our church, they used to have those ceilings with the like in the offices where they have the rectangular like boards on the ceiling, right? So I would try to count how many boards there was in the whole inside the church. But
the patterns of the little boards, whatever it was, just to keep your mind off what was going on. You didn't really understand it back then. Or
when you're a kid,
I was just looking at the clock. I kept looking back like this.
Yeah.
So we had Y2K, where people went out and bought a bunch of guns and water, and they were afraid of everything becoming chaos and people running rampant and loco on the street. There was also 2012, and before that, I guess there were other ones. Whenever things changed, there was another one in the 1900s, and there was another one in the 1800s. And
but I mean, when these recent ones happened, do you remember your family going on nuts?
No.
No.
I don't think I even cared either.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on what you're invested in. Because back then I wasn't really invested in a bunch of banking things and stocks and the 401ks. But now that I have that stuff, I'm like, oh, if that happens again, what's gonna happen to all my money? Well, I mean, actually,
those millions of dollars.
Especially if you have the market crashes. But so yeah, let me go make some changes. I'll be right back.
I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I only got like $10 in the bank anyways. Hey, I keep all my money at home in this form.
Yeah. You know what's funny? My cousin Beto, he talked to me because he has a friend in Vegas. And he mentioned that his friend in Vegas was like, what are people buying on there? He tells his friend, and not Vegas, but Texas. And in Texas, over here, there are people are buying toilet paper and all that nonsense and all that. But in Texas, the number one seller, well, this was like at the height of its peak, I guess, it was alcohol.
You know what? I actually heard about this. I had a friend, one of our viewers, told me that in TJ, they had no Coronas.
The Coronas?
Yeah, because
I mean the beer.
The beer. Because there was a rumor going around that that Corona was gonna stop selling Corona. I don't know why.
And that spread through the media and everything. I was sharing it with you guys, and I think I sent a couple of images to Adrian, and he was, oh man.
Yeah, and the thing is, right here it didn't have that effect, and Corona didn't sell out, but in TJ it did.
It's probably because people were scared down there, so they're just like, let's go to the store and buy it.
Fill the garage with Coronas.
Well, the funny thing too is that in TJ they had for a while they had to close their stores over the border because people were coming in from the United States into TJ to buy up toilet paper and water and all the necessities that they needed, and they were it was a crazy moment in time right there.
And shout out to the viewer that told me about the Coronas. It was the Matrix.
Yeah.
But
Matrix, awesome.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's crazy, and you know what? With the whole like what's going on now, now that I've watched these videos on not only on Facebook and YouTube but on the news, where people have actually been like hurting other people, like shooting people and fights and stuff. It's crazy, over toilet paper.
Violence has gone up over toilet paper, and sadly also, which I haven't heard a whole lot about it recently, but it was up there for a while. Maybe it's because so much is going on in the news, is that a lot of minorities are being affected, especially Chinese people are getting beat up in the street, and they're United States, they're American citizens, and they're getting beat up.
Yeah, people are dumb. Some people are dumb. But you know what? My family never went crazy over the whole, the 2012 and the Y2K. I mean, they talked about it because, like I said, they're very religious, so they would say, "Oh, this is it. Get ready. We've been talking. We've been preparing for this." But
like this is in God's hands. There's nothing we can do. It's out of our control.
Yeah. But anyways,
we have the whole 2012 Y2K. What else do we have now?
There was the what is it, the swine flu, the bird flu, or
viruses. Viruses are coming and they go away, but they come back even stronger. Yeah, before coronavirus, or in other words, the specific name is for coronavirus is COVID-19, which is short for what's the COVID corona virus. I forget what the ID part is, but it's 19 that was found in 2019, and it started in China. Now, the relative to coronavirus, I believe, is what is it? SARS? Yes, it's SARS. And that one was around for a while too. That one came out actually not too long ago, right? It was spread around. In 2002 to 2004, very rare though, but it's the cousin of COVID-19, and this started I think in China also, might have been around that area.
Yeah.
There were 8,096 cases with 774 deaths. So this is actually like a precursor. This is actually like a warning. This is what got George W. Bush thinking, hey, there's something here that's going to get worse later on. And he's the one that started up this whole, let's investigate viruses, let's put some money into it. And then after SARS, we had the swine flu. And that one was 2009. And that one lasted about 20 months, mostly in North America.
Yeah.
I think parts in Mexico, is a few here, but most of Mexico and Venezuela, I believe. That swine flu was the H1N1 strain. Number of cases, there were 1,632,710 with 18,449 deaths. So that's another one too, where that was during the Obama administration. So George W. Bush and then Obama, they did a little bit of paperwork and they started up these things to start up the virus committee, whatever you want to call it. I forget the name, but that's how we got the insight of what's going on, what's going to happen in the future. And I believe in 2015, Bill Gates came out with that little talk about how we shouldn't be worried too much about or too concerned about nuclear warfare or anything. The thing we should be worried about the most is viruses.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? In the Inconvenient Truth video, there's a second part to it. It's called Inconvenient Truth something power. And this was filmed in 2016, part 2. And there's something that happened with Donald Trump. I don't want to get all into politics and stuff, but there's a part where Donald Trump is saying, you know what, that's it. We're gonna stop spending money on, wasting money on things we don't need, like global warming. And I forgot what city he was at where he was giving this talk, and he's all like, it's freezing in here. He's like, it's freezing in here. And then he's all like, what's his name? He's like, Al Gore, where's your global warming now? Making fun of it. Yeah. And he's like, you know what? We're going to stop wasting money on this whole and trying to figure out global warming. And it's like, you know what? I don't know, dude. This dude is kind of wacky, but anyway.
Well, let's just move on.
Let's move on. Let's not get into Donald Trump. We have too many family members that are on opposite ends. So let's just cut it.
Hey, let's just stick with the program.
Yeah, stick with the program. But
so we had those viruses and that have been in the past that are coming back. And in the case of SARS, which is now COVID-19, which there's almost like a mutation, but it's just a different branch of it. So now what's going to happen in the future after this COVID-19? What are we going to be
what's the next one? Yeah, what's the next
one?
How
are we going to handle it? Right?
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I don't know if you know anything about this, Carlos. Somebody on Facebook had posted that the corona. I don't get it because they said the coronavirus has been around forever. Yeah, and they said to look at the old school Lysol, sprays.
Yeah.
And it says in the back, kills coronavirus. So what's that all about?
So the problem with this virus is it's a naming problem. When it first came out, they started calling it coronavirus. But coronavirus is just a category of a certain type of virus. That's why I try to refrain from calling it coronavirus, and that's why I call it COVID-19. COVID-19 is a virus that's being spread right now. Coronavirus is kind of like I don't know, what do you want to call it, like a shell of it, or I don't know what do you want to call it.
Would you say the coronavirus is kind of like, let's say, if the coronavirus was like vehicles, it would be cars, and then COVID-19 would be like Toyota?
Yes, if coronavirus were a certain type of car, like let's say a sedan, right?
Yeah.
And in a sedan, you would have Toyota. Toyota would be, or a certain type of Toyota would be like a Celica.
Okay, so that makes sense.
Yeah. So coronavirus, you look at the Lysol, and that's true. It's there. Coronavirus has been around for a long time. It's just that now that it's been mutating and changing, that in 2019 when it was found in China, that's when they decided to call it COVID-19.
Oh, okay.
And I have to look up the name of it, of what COVID stands for. But they're very related.
Okay. Yeah, because that was something that I watched on on Facebook, and then I actually had some old like Lysol bottles, and I went to look for when it did say coronavirus. I'm like, what's going on? Like, this has been around forever.
Yeah, it's just all the information is just not getting out there to everybody at one time, and the internet, especially Facebook and so forth, and of course sometimes YouTube.
Yeah.
The information spreads quicker than what scientists can.
A lot of false information.
Yeah, or it just gets sent out too quickly and it's incomplete.
Hey, and speaking of false information, this show is just done for entertainment. We're not experts on viruses and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, our opinions are our own.
Yeah, it's just our opinions.
Yeah, but we try to keep it fun. We try to keep it somewhat fun and informative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? My dog
was called.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. So this COVID-19 was previously known as 2019, the novel coronavirus, and they started changing the COVID-19 and to identify it because the strains it's just different. It's just the way it attacks and mutates and changes through time. But there's another name for it. I want to give you the whole thing, but. I can't find it right now.
So I mean, there was also the which my daughter was telling me about, because after we watched the movie, The Inconvenient Truth, she started doing a little research herself, and she was telling me how she noticed that like every 100 year, about around 100 years, there's been something coming out, like the Spanish flu.
Oh, there's another one.
Yeah, the Spanish flu and everything. So there's like a gap of 100 years between these viruses.
Right.
The strong ones, that wipe out a lot of people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the thing with the Spanish flu, what was that, 1912? It came around once, and it killed people. Not a whole lot, but it killed people. And then it kind of went down, and I guess during the fall, I don't know the exact date, but months later, it came back even stronger with the vengeance.
Yeah.
And it killed even way more many people than it did through the first wave. And that's what we're afraid of with this one. So right now we're barely getting through it. I think in LA County and here in California, we've already kind of reached the apex of it.
Yeah.
But if it goes away, what's going to happen in the fall?
Yeah. And you know what? Talking about that, there was I don't know if you saw this. Somebody shared a video from YouTube from I think 5 or 6 years ago of this lady. She's a psychic, and it was on one of those Spanish shows like channel Telemundo or something. But this lady, she talked about 2020, how there was gonna be a virus that was gonna come and it was gonna kill a lot of people, and then she said, if you look, you could search this on YouTube. She said that for a moment people were gonna think that it was gone, but then it was gonna come back with a vengeance and take out more people than the first time. So who knows? I mean, hopefully not.
Yeah. I hope so for the sake of humankind that it doesn't do that.
Yeah.
One thing that does come to mind though, if this does come back in waves, is because people are out there, they're being infected and they don't even know, or they don't have any symptoms.
Yeah.
They're asymptomatic. In other words, they can just be walking around and they get the virus, and they're more like carriers. They just have it in them, but they don't have any symptoms. And the next thing you know, they're talking to so and so, they're talking to this and that, and older generation, and next thing you know, it just keeps spreading and spreading.
Yeah. And
it starts killing off people that are old, have some sort of immune system problem. I think now some of the kids are being affected now with. It's very rare though, but they have this rash. They have some sort of I think it's called Hashimoto's disease or something like that. I forget what the actual name is, but they're suffering. Yeah. And so that's one of my biggest fears, is that a person that doesn't know that they have it is going around spreading it.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know what? Today I actually went. We went on a drive by the coast, by Fort MacArthur and all that, and the parks, and right there that whole area where people go to jog, and there's 2 parks there. I mean, it was full of people, and I think out of every 20 people we saw walking or hanging out, only one was wearing a mask. Yeah, so it's crazy, dude. People right now. People think everything's cool now, like it's over. But hopefully this doesn't come back and bite us, Because
I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, people are being really careless right now. Yeah. So, and I mean the thing is, it's funny because it just happened. So it's funny that, all of a sudden everybody's just like, oh, who cares? You know?
Yeah, maybe because we're so accustomed to things happening so fast with the information age and the way things are with banking and the things we can get things instantaneously with Amazon and the stores that we think that things come and then they go.
We think the virus is gonna be like that too, but
yeah, people aren't in it for the long haul anymore. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, viruses, corona.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that in the news too. They showed a clip on the news that they had opened. I forgot what beach it was, and there was thousands of people there, and nobody was wearing masks.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we have those viruses that will probably later on, once they mutate, they will probably take out a considerable amount of people on the earth, and maybe one day we'll get a really strong one, which I don't really want, but you might get something that'll probably wipe out the humankind. And so we gotta be careful. We gotta keep studying new science and figure out what's going on with these things and solve these problems through science.
Yeah.
Other things that are out there that are problematic also are Ebola, dengue fever. Those are things that are actually been coming up on the news. They're kind of drowned with what's going on now, but dengue fever is on a rise in Asia, and Ebola is back on a rise too in Africa. And you guys remember Zika virus? Zika it might be coming back too, because it almost spread just like dengue fever through mosquitoes. Mm-hmm. But right now, dengue fever and Ebola are the ones that are having a little bit of a comeback.
And you know what? Speaking about mosquitoes, you know how I think starting in 2019, I don't know if you noticed, mosquitoes are there's a lot of mosquitoes. And I've been bitten by them a lot, where I get these giant lumps on my arms and stuff. When I go to school at Harbor Rock.
Yeah.
And right. That's one of the things that Al Gore mentions in the Inconvenient Truth, the first one that was filmed in 2006, I think it was, so somewhere around there. But he talked about how when every year goes by and the global warming gets worse, there's gonna be more mosquitoes every year. So it's kind of like, he he didn't predict it, but he kind of knew by the science what was going to happen. And it's happening. It's crazy.
It's pretty scary that you mentioned that, because the one mosquito that was never around these parts of Cali, and now they're here within the past couple of years, is the Asian tiger mosquito. That little tiny one.
Yeah.
And there's little white spots in there. And it's not like a traditional mosquito where it flies around your face and it tries to prick you on the arms. This Asian tiger mosquito is smaller, and it goes down, and they call them ankle biters.
Yeah.
Because they just go down there and just start attacking.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is they come out during the day.
Yeah. And you know what? We had these at school at Harbor Occupational Center, and it was funny because even like the other people in class, you see these mosquitoes come and try to attack you, and you you kind of try to swat them away, and they just come back right away. They don't care. Yeah. It's crazy, but yeah, global warming. It's real, damn it.
They're determined. The majority of the ones that do bite you are the female ones. So yeah, they're determined.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm just joking. But they are girls though. The ones that they take the blood to make the eggs and feed their young.
Yeah. But anyways, Carlitos.
So we have those. And what's another thing that will predict the end of the world? How about war? You think war is going to do anything? Maybe.
You know what? I think it's going to be more like natural disasters.
Yeah.
Earthquakes, floods, and the viruses and stuff like that.
Probably the greater of the things. Because you can think of maybe Russia, North Korea, Iran. They can probably start a nuclear war anytime. As soon as something happens, there's some sort of a miscommunication. Something can go crazy. So we can start war in a traditional sense with countries. Well, what about this? What about chemical warfare? Or what about something even crazier like artificial intelligence? Where we learn so much about ourselves, where computers know so much about ourselves that they become self-aware, and they might not like us anymore.
You mean like the Terminator?
Yeah, Skynet.
Skynet is here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'd rather the end of the world come like that, with like where we're fighting robots and shooting robots and stuff, instead of just like some virus we can't see and we just drop dead.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good idea. I wish I could do polls because I want to do either AI with Skynet and robots, or do a poll. What do you want, zombies or that?
Death by zombies or death by robots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another one that I want to talk briefly about is just like famine. Maybe because of these things, the viruses and the war, especially with the viruses, things that were going on, there's a lack of food in certain places, a lack of water. Farmers are throwing out milk. They're burning their animals. I think pigs in this case, and they're just burning them in their own lot because they're losing money.
Yeah.
So what if they keep doing that, and next thing you know, there's not enough food to go around and feed people?
Well, the thing is, I know with farmers, I watch another documentary about how the whole industry with chickens and stuff works with corporations. A lot of these farmers, they don't own the animals. They're just kind of like they just own that little piece of land, and the corporations own the animals. So that's why a lot of these farmers, like right now, they have to just throw away or just kill the animals because the corporations don't want to give it away for free. And
I think they do that. The farmers do that because they'll get into greater debt if they keep these things around. I think I saw the same documentary as you did on Netflix. It's from the same guy that made Super Size Me.
Yes.
He did one about the chickens.
Yeah.
And these farmers are held accountable for the quality of their chickens and the size.
Hey Carlitos, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we have to do an episode on that, on the farmers and how corporations work with that stuff. Because you know what, I watched that documentary, well, the one with the Super Size Me guy, and then I watched a different one, and there's a lot. It's like almost like a mafia, dude. It's crazy. Right. It's crazy. And you know what? I don't know if you saw the one where they the corporations don't want to spend money, so what they did, like with the the animals that wouldn't survive, because they keep them all like trapped in these buildings, they would actually feed them to the animals that haven't died. Like they would grind them down and mix them with food and feed it to the animals, like cannibalism.
Yeah, and that's just more problems with sickly meat.
Yeah,
and tainted meat. Yeah, well, we'll probably do a show that made like a special because it's not really doesn't fit the format of the
it's not really
paranormal.
But you know what? I would love to talk about that because that's
sure. Yeah,
that's interesting. Hopefully, our YouTube channel doesn't get shut down. Hey, hopefully our channel doesn't get shut down by Tyson.
Another one, going back to food, another one is food parasites. There's a lot of food, well, not a lot, but there's certain foods out there that have parasites that can actually make food become extinct. And if we don't act fast by changing these foods, they might be gone for good. And the one that comes to mind right now are bananas. Bananas, actually, the banana that we eat today is not the same banana we ate maybe 50 or 100 years ago. It's a different strain of the banana. The problem with that old banana is that it started developing a parasite, and it started killing a bunch of crops. A lot of crops died, I should say. The banana trees and so forth. So they had to come up with a genius way of splitting the seed or doing something that I don't know about, but that I have no knowledge about. But they made a new banana, but now this new one that we've been eating recently also is having issues with parasites too.
Oh crap!
So that's one thing we should.
We should talk. We should do an episode just talking about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because that's a very because I know there was another thing where on a different documentary where I watched that the people in charge of these the farmers and stuff, that were the ones that really own the things and that the farmers grow. Now they have a thing where like they have to buy a certain seed where the farmer can't just take the seed out of the fruit and regrow it. They have to buy the seed like forcefully. Which I think is BS.
I want to say the name, but hopefully I don't butcher it. Monsanto, I believe they have copyrights on seeds.
Yeah.
And the farmers can only buy their seeds.
Yeah.
And the farmers take them and they grow them, and supposedly these seeds they were supposed to grow and then die, and then the farmer's supposed to go back to them and buy back to Monsanto and buy more seeds. But for some reason, I guess the seeds, the plants kept growing new ones, which was because
because you can't fight nature. Damn it!
It's like that's that Jeff Goldblum's
nature will always find a way.
There you go. So Monsanto couldn't stop the farmers, and the farmers had the crops, so they had to come to an agreement. Well, you have to make sure you only grow these crops and don't purchase from any other seed people. So, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, these guys are Monsanto. They have a pretty dark past when it comes to food.
Yeah. Especially you know what? I think that's gonna. I think we should say that for episode 20, the season finale.
The season finale.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we have the food. We have war, viruses. Actually, instead of food, it's famine, war, viruses. We talked a little bit probably about the ice age returns because the world is going through all these changes that maybe the ice age might return. Mm-hmm. The polar the ice caps are melting. There's global warming. Sea levels are rising.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe this whole like the ice caps melting is part of the process of the Earth, kind of to like go through like a wash cycle to clean itself out and then go back to normal.
Yeah,
because you know what? We also watched a movie called The Day After Tomorrow. Do you remember that movie?
Yeah, I believe so.
Where that happens, where like you know there's a scientist saying that you know we're going through it, what's happening now with the global warming and stuff. It's kind of like the cycle to go back through an ice age again.
Oh yeah.
Which I think you know what? I think that'd be pretty cool. I hate the heat. But yeah, The Day After Tomorrow, that's a good movie too.
It's funny because sometimes I think about that stuff. What if there were another ice age? Like, what would I do? How would I survive? Will I be underground or will I be up above ground? How would I do it? How would I save food and everything?
And you know what, Carlitos, I think we would be fine, our generation at least, because you know, growing up we were used to like little building things and doing stuff like that. I don't know about the newer generations. You know? You can't build a shelter with a cell phone.
There's still some bright kids out there.
Of course, yeah.
And they'll make something.
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is pretty much what a lot of doomsday prophecies have been saying, right? The viruses. That's Bill Gates is probably not considered a doomsday prophecy. What was the other one that predicted something too? Was it Nostradamus? Was one that do predictions, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say Nosferatu. I was gonna say Nosferatu.
Nosferatu is the vampire.
The vampire, the one back there. Yeah, Nostradamus. Yeah.
I think Nostradamus predicted that in August of 1999 something bad was going to happen, but you know that was a whole Y2K thing. So
yeah, maybe that's what he predicted. It was just the Y2K. That was his prediction. People are going to go nuts.
Yeah, so he had a few things. I don't want to go too much into detail because I don't have a whole lot in front of me for Nostradamus.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the plagues of Egypt. Also, the 10 plagues of Egypt. We're going to go back to that again. You can make some similarities with what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. One of the 10 plagues was pestilence of livestock from the 10 plagues of Egypt, right? Mm. Pestilence of livestock. You can see that now happening with COVID-19. Some animals are getting sick from COVID-19. H1N1, which is I believe happened with the avian bird flu, and it crossed into a pig, and I think that developed the H1N1. And the craziest one that I guess people don't talk about anymore, but it did happen, which was mad cow disease.
That's right.
Yeah, that happened.
Hey, what about the one where the animals were being found without blood? The chupacabra. The chupacabra.
Let me write that down in my notes. The chupacabra.
Remember that? Remember that where they were finding the cows like with no blood and the chickens.
Mm-hmm. They were on their thighs and they had like a hole or
like a vampire hole.
And they were drained.
Hey, you know what? We got to do an episode on the chupacabra.
You want to do an episode of chupacabras?
We should do one of that. Yeah, I think that'd be pretty cool. Hey, vampire / chupacabra. Hey, basically the chupacabra is just a Mexican vampire, right?
Yeah. Chiqui cabra. Ñaca.
Chiqui Dracula.
Chiqui Dracula.
Yeah, but I mean, it's true. I mean, these are things. Yeah. All these stories are very similar to, you know.
Yeah, the other one is thunderstorm of hail and fire, and that's what comes to mind of thunderstorms of hail and fire. We just talked about global warming.
Mm-hmm.
The Australian and California fires and those winter snowstorms that we get on the Midwest and the East Coast. Locusts, that was another one. Yeah, they have locusts many years in Africa, right? Destroying crops, creating famine.
Yeah.
Death of firstborn, maybe that could be related to Zika in a way. Yeah, I'm just throwing stuff out there. Darkness for 3 days. Maybe that will be like EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Maybe some sort of bomb where they just say boom. Everything that's electronic, if it's not covered, is going to be done.
I like that. I like that bomb sound effect.
I need my little soundboard. I need a soundboard.
Oh man!
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to talk about when it comes to these little tidbits of information. When it comes to the end of the world.
The end of the world.
Yeah. It might not be the end of the world, like you said. The Earth's probably still going to be around.
Yeah, I don't think so.
All it does is just restart.
It just recycles itself.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, kind of like the whole banking system with with the recessions and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think it's been a pretty good episode. I actually enjoyed talking about this stuff.
I was having fun.
Yeah, Carlitos, is there anything else you want to mention before we end the end of the world?
Remember, the ending is only the beginning.
Yeah. The end is just a fresh beginning to another episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
We go to episode. That will be episode number 17 next.
Isn't this episode 17?
Well, it's a circle. Episode 18 will be next.
Oh man, is there anything you want to mention? Any shout outs or anything?
Yeah, this is a good damn good beer right here. Smoke City.
Yeah.
This one from 2 episodes back. Amarillo Gorilla. I still have some left.
Oh, that's right.
Amarillo Gorilla, Amarilla Gorilla.
That's
really
that. You know what? That's a cool looking bottle, especially because you're all into aliens and stuff.
Yeah, I see the little gorilla with the steampunk look.
Yeah.
And then there's a little plane again with him. See John Cusack flying it, or his buddy flying it.
Yeah, I'm more simple. I like Guinness. That's my beer of choice. But anyways,
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I mean, if you have nothing else to say, Carlitos, I think we're gonna end our episode here.
Well, we can go into Space Invaders, the UFOs, man. Let's go with that.
Space Invaders.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Space Invaders?
Well, I don't have a whole lot of information on it, but if you have anything to
oh, that's right. You're talking about the aliens.
Yeah.
I forgot you had mentioned about the world ending with alien attacks, kind of like Independence Day.
Right.
With Will Smith.
Will Smith, giving like a crossover,
punching the alien. Yeah, you know what? I don't.
Yeah, so,
is there a big thing about like the world ending with aliens? I've never really heard about that, except like the movie Independence Day.
No, but we can think about it and say, hey, that's a possibility. Like if they were actually to come down and not. I'm trying to stay away from movie media, but those like Signs and all those other movies. Independence Day, they want to come here and they want to conquer.
Hey, don't forget War of the World with Tom Cruise.
War of the Worlds, yeah, the later one, yeah. I remember watching the actual old
original,
one, War of the Worlds in black and white.
The original was good too.
Used to scare me.
And you know what? They actually took a series out called War of the Worlds on I think it was on Starz, I believe. I'm not sure, or HBO, and it's really good
Based
too.
on the old. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, really, really good. It's different. It's different because these aliens, they're fighting with radio waves and stuff. It's pretty interesting. But you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think aliens would come down just to kill us. But,
there's a bunch of theories on it. They come to dominate, but a lot of people have theories about where the aliens watch over us because either we were created by them, or it's more like the Earth is like a zoo and they're just observing us, kind of like how you would watch a monkey in a cage. They're looking at us like, yeah, these guys are monkeys.
Hey, they just come down to probe us. That's about it.
Oh my god. Make sure it's not cold.
Oh man. But you know what, Carlitos?
Yeah.
That's actually a good topic. I think we should talk about that. Like make. I think we should make the next episode just of aliens. Like, what if? What would happen if aliens came? Would we get killed, destroyed, or would they come and help us to get rid of disease and all that stuff?
Yeah, and I have that on my notes here. Not only is the bad side about UFOs with the videos I've been circulating right now, but the abduction to world domination. But what about aliens coming here aliens coming here because they're going to be our saviors of science and knowledge?
The reptilians.
Yeah, they'll give us information on how to treat cancer, how to eradicate viruses, how to create something that'll be faster than light speed.
Yeah. And you know what, Carlitos? I think we should say that for episode 18. Because I mean, now that you brought that up, my mind is just like, I have so much to talk about aliens, especially because I love alien movies.
Episode 18, I have a 1 and you have an 8, and the 8 could be the alien eyes. I can draw like a little circle around it.
Or it could be E.T.
Besides the aliens, things from space could be also maybe a large, giant asteroid coming towards Earth.
Like Armageddon.
Yeah, exactly.
Bruce Willis.
We have to get Bruce Willis to go up there and blow up that asteroid.
Yeah. Or Deep Impact. Did you see Deep Impact?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh, what a good movie.
No.
It's with that kid from Lord of the Rings.
There's several that are outside, but I don't think there's anything threatening right now to the Earth.
Yeah, because I do remember, like, there was a few times when they talked about that there was a meteor that was going to pass real close to Earth and all that stuff.
Right.
What's that one comet? Oh, Halley's Comet. Remember that?
Halley's Comet that would come around maybe every 60, 70 years. I forget the year.
And we got to see it. You saw it, right? This was back in the 90s, I think.
Oh, yeah, we did see it.
Yeah. I remember.
Yes, that was beautiful. And you know what? You just opened up another thing in my mind.
Episode 19.
It kind of relates to some of this end of the world stuff and some of these people that believe in the end of the world because they're part of a cult or whatever it is. And what you just reminded me of was Seventh Gate, the cult, that they believed that this comet was going to come across, and it did. The comet, I believe, was called Hale-Bopp. And this comet was supposed to teleport them and take them on a comet to another world or another place.
Oh, okay.
But in order to get into that comet, they have to commit mass suicide, and it was all over the news back then.
Well, you know what? I remember seeing Halley's Comet. That was awesome. And I remember when it happened, we me and my sisters, and I think it was my sisters, we talked about how we wouldn't be able to see it again until we were like old, we would be probably like 80 years old.
Yeah, Corona doesn't take us down.
Yeah. And that'd be cool to see it again and tell our kids, like we saw it when we were kids, like.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any footage out there of that time when it came around in the 90s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think it was like 92 or something.
Okay.
But,
and speaking of deep space, like Hades Comet and all that, what about the ultimate ending of the world? Another Big Bang. Some people believe in it, others don't. But supposedly the universe started with a Big Bang theory. Boom, just like that, an explosion. What if things happen and there's another Big Bang to start life all over again?
I know.
That'd be kind of neat.
I mean, you know what? That'd be crazy. I think I would rather go that way, like something just crashing into Earth and just like you disappear in a second, than getting sick and suffering. But that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure we'll talk about UFOs next time.
Oh yeah, no, we got to do the aliens. That one for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, any shout outs, Carlitos, or anything you want to plug?
Yeah, Smog City Beer, Amarillo Gorilla, the fourth horseman.
No more beer for you, the fourth horseman.
Wait on for God. The fourth horseman in Long Beach.
Yeah.
On Pine and 4th Street.
Oh yeah, right over across from the Vincent Thomas Bridge here.
Yes.
But anyways, guys, you know what? It's been fun today. I had a lot of fun filming, doing this episode today.
Yeah.
But you know what? Thanks for watching, and you know, hopefully, I'm thinking that maybe, you know, because they've been having a lot of talk about this being over, you know, the pandemic being over, and they're gonna open all the stores and stuff. Hopefully, once this happens, we're able to go do an investigation. We got to do an investigation.
Investigation, that's
yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
Get out there somewhere, recordings outside the little areas that we're in right now.
Go do some EVPs and stuff, because I know people are getting, you know, people have been asking me, what's going on, you know, when are you gonna do this? So hopefully, you know, by episode 20, you know, this is. I
mean, we could do that, but we need to get the whole giant suits and the protection.
We're gonna be dressed like astronauts just to go do some EVPs.
Fucking awesome.
Oh man. Anyways, all right, guys. Well, thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.
Thank you so much.